Live. You're watching Fox 44 News First at 9 Weekend Edition, your local news leader.
Good evening, I'm Abby Rochette.
I'm Harrison Golden. Thank you so much for joining us here on this busy Saturday night on Fox 44 News. COVID restrictions have forced many college students out of their classrooms and onto the computers. So now students and their parents are questioning why their tuition is still so high when they say the quality of their college education is not what it was before the pandemic. Fox's Molly Line with a closer look.
I do not believe we're getting a good value out of the money because so much of the college experience has been taken away.
From the state capitol to our nation's capital now, where legislators will soon discuss ways to improve our nation's roads, bridges, and highways. Congressman Garrett Graves from Louisiana is on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee in the U.S. House. He's offering up some amendments to the so-called Fix America's Surface Transportation Act. The bill would add more federal money to Louisiana's highways and bridges, but the Republican Graves says his Democratic colleagues do give him some concerns.
The concerns that I have is that it seems that they have begun to sort of hijack our transportation programs in exchange for basically things like climate change, racial equality, and environmental justice.
Yeah, that's the congressman's opinion. Now to watch the full interview with Representative Garrett Graves, be sure to watch This Week in Louisiana Politics tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. right here on NBC Local 33. Well, while we're seeing a major expansion in vaccine eligibility, we're also seeing a decline in demand for the shots. According to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Louisiana is falling behind in per capita vaccine distribution, but we are seeing 15% of our population fully vaccinated. That's more than any of our neighboring states have. Now, health officials are encouraging everyone to be vaccine ambassadors for their family and friends to help everyone get their shots and bring Louisiana back to some sense of normalcy. Your local election headquarters this Monday morning. If you like to gamble, listen up. Louisiana lawmakers are set to debate the guidelines for sports betting in Louisiana. Voters in almost all of the state's parishes voted to legalize betting last November. Now it's up to lawmakers to vote on the parameters this legislative session. Senate President Paige Cortez will sponsor the bill crafting the rules, and he says the state could see up to $20 million a year from taxes from sports betting alone. Well, consumer alert this Monday morning as the IRS now says face masks, hand sanitizer, and disinfectant wipes are tax deductible. That's one of my favorite phrases there. Now, the agency says the purchase of personal protective equipment, all with the goal of preventing the spread of the coronavirus, all amounts to deductible medical expenses. Taxpayers can deduct expenses for PPE if they have medical expenses that exceed 7.5% of their adjusted gross income and if they itemize their tax returns. Now, personal protective equipment includes face masks, disinfectants for use against COVID-19, hand soap, sanitizer, and disposable gloves. All things, of course, many of us have been buying.
I bought too much of it. And I was like,
Same.
oh, I wish I would have known that before I did my taxes.
I know.
Is it too
Yeah,
late?
right?
Is it too late to go?
Right.
I wouldn't.